Hello there, Jets fans, and welcome to episode number 73 of the JetStream podcast. I am Neil Noonan. Today's April 26th, and I'm here with Joe Clark, and without Travis Rubinek.
You're with Joe Clark, and that's it.
No Travis.
Yep.
He is out in Ottawa with his girlfriend. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing besides
That.
Which, for audio listeners, he's at an Ottawa Senators game.
He's at Game 6 of Habs Sens. He seems to have purchased an Ottawa Senators jersey. I texted him once I saw this picture. I texted him asking him what jersey he got. Looks like there's a 2, but I don't know if there's a number afterwards or not. So we'll get you updated on that as soon as we know.
Those are nice jerseys.
They're beautiful. I love those classic ones. Those aren't their regular, I don't think, but that's like their throwback logo.
With the big O.
Yeah,
and
the big O.
I like the colors,
yep,
too. Like
I
the
like
red and the cream.
I like those jerseys, yep. But Travis going full fuck it mode, just saying, yep, I'm on vacation, I'm going to buy a Sens jersey, going to go to a game.
No kidding,
Just whatever, doesn't care.
Me and Travis, we had a old high school alumni basketball tournament this weekend, and we went to Smitty's after one of our games to celebrate, and he was just sitting there. We ordered drinks and wings or whatever, and he's just on his phone. He's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm getting tickets. And just out of nowhere, on his phone, gets the tickets right away. I can't blame him, though. If I was as big a hockey fan as he is, I'd probably do the same thing.
Oh, if you get a chance. I mean, because it's not going to be happening here anytime soon for any reasonable amount of money, so
no doubt.
You might as well do it when you can get them for whatever, $100-something bucks.
And big game, too, right? Game 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Game 6, yeah.
They've won 2 in a row out in Ottawa. That would be amazing if they made that full comeback.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy.
Because they shouldn't, if I'm not mistaken, they shouldn't have been in the playoffs.
There's realistically no. They went on that 21-2 run at the end of the year to pull themselves into a playoff.
Say that again. What was it?
21-2.
That's ridiculous.
That was their run.
Yeah. But that's like that, and the Hamburglar.
That was where Andrew Hammond kind of made his name in the NHL so far. So.
And he's not even playing anymore, right?
No, he had a rough first 2 games, I think it was, that he was playing, and then Anderson came right back in.
That's crazy to me. And at that exact same night that he bought the tickets, me and Travis were talking about how goalies fascinate the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm. And they fascinate a lot of people, and nobody understands them.
That someone that had such just an epic streak like that. I didn't even know the stats, but like that's crazy. And then all of a sudden just falls off a cliff, and then someone else is starting.
Yep, and Anderson was an above-average goalie for the Senators for a few years now, and he was battling hand injury, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Hammond came in and lit it up, and so I think Anderson was ready to go by the end of the season, but you don't want to interrupt that run. So
no kidding.
As soon as he dropped off, basically. They said, no, we'll go in for Anderson. And you know what? That's a great position for the Senators to be in because they have confidence in Anderson. He's been a good goalie for them for years.
Right.
So they knew that they knew what they were getting putting him back in. And he had like a 42 or 43 save performance the other night. So, wow. Yeah, he's a good goalie. So if you have a hot backup and, let him play and Anderson's going to be solid when he comes back.
No doubt. Montreal's up 1-0 right now at time of recording, going into the third period.
Right.
Minnesota clinched their division, or not their division, their series today against St. Louis. Nice. You were saying before we got on, the entire Western Conference is settled now.
The West is set up, yeah. So all those series are set and ready to go. I don't have them.
Yeah, so we just said it, like St. Louis and Minnesota. Minnesota took that. And I was showing Joe off air right before we started recording our picks. Travis is just brutal right now, so let's hate on him while he's not
obviously here. He can't defend himself, so let's rip on him for a second.
The Anaheim-Winnipeg series, you were the only one that picked Anaheim,
That's right.
So, way to not play the homer card, the smart card.
Yeah.
And Vancouver-Calgary, we both picked Calgary, so Travis, again, dumbass, picking Vancouver, picking the favorite. St. Louis, Minnesota, we just spoke on it. Again, Travis, the only one out of us three picking St. Louis. And then me, the only one taking Chicago and Nashville.
Wow, yeah.
I really had no basis besides our boy Taves.
Yeah, I was surprised. I honestly thought Nashville was...
And then Patty Kane started playing again too, right?
Oh yeah, and actually I do remember before when we made these picks, it hadn't been announced that Kane was going to be back.
Right,
for the series.
because I remember talking about that, and I think Travis, the smart ass, brought it up. It's just Kane's not playing.
Nope, Kane won't be there. I think I asked that before I made my pick when we were talking about it. Anyways, whatever. The pick is done. I got it wrong. Whatever. Moving on.
And the only other one that is done right now is Pittsburgh and the New York Rangers. And you guys both took the Rangers.
Yeah.
I took the Craws.
You went with
and
Sid
unfortunately, No, but
Dis.
whatever. And then the Ottawa-Montreal series right now, it's going on right now. And then Detroit-Tampa Bay. Again, we were talking off air, and you were saying that it's not looking good for the Lightning.
No, it's not.
Right,
and you're the only one who picked Detroit.
that's Babcock, baby. That's the
yeah, man, like that's crazy. I've been watching a couple Detroit games actually, because one of my good friends is a big Detroit fan, and so I've watched a few of the games with him, and it's just like every time I'm watching it, I'm like, how? Why? There's no reason that this should be happening. Tampa Bay Lightning, the highest scoring team in the league, and they got Ben Bishop, who's been good for them, and playoffs, man, it's a whole different ballgame.
That's amazing.
Right? It gets just a fresh start. That's just to give you an idea. I think. And I mean, I'm going to throw myself under the bus on this one. I'm pretty sure on our playoff preview episode, I said that the only for sure series out of every single one was that Tampa Bay was going to beat Detroit in the whole league. And they're down 3-2 right now.
Of course. That's always how it goes.
Yeah, of course that would work.
And then the last one, the Washington and the Islanders.
That's Game 7 tomorrow.
I believe so. Yeah. I think you're right. On Monday.
And who was my pick on that one? Did I pick Islanders?
You got, yes. No, me and you both took...
You took Washington? Okay.
Washington.
See, that's what I don't even remember my pick, because I remember being really torn on that one.
That's fair. Well, it's the only one that's going 7 right now.
Yeah.
I saw an infographic on Reddit the other day of Ovechkin scoring his 50th goal and his 50-point seasons and all the awards he's won. And there was an actual graph. Shout out to Garrett Hull. It wasn't his, but I just immediately thought of him. If I see hockey and graphs together, it's immediately him.
Obviously.
But there's a graph of I think it's shots on the x-axis and goals scored on the y-axis. Super simple graph since Ovechkin got in the league. And he is in just this top right corner completely by himself, and no one else is near him.
No.
And that kind of just made it click to me. I know he's like one in a generational player.
Yeah.
And I guess you can compare him to Crosby. But how, in the grand scheme of hockey, how good is Ovechkin?
Ovechkin's unreal. He's got him and Stamkos are right in and
Stamkos too.
Yeah.
Would those three be
that's those? I would put Ovechkin and Stamkos separate in a scorer's role. Not to say that Crosby isn't an elite scorer, because obviously he is, but they're very, very pure goal scorers. Not that they can't do other things, but that's what their main role is scoring goals. And yeah, those two guys, for my money, are the best in the world, and probably Ovechkin would be number one. So I would go with that. When they were coming into the league, and there was all that talk of Ovechkin, Crosby, who's better. They've almost made it impossible for you to really choose an overall better player, because which one's better than the other, because they're better at different things, right? Crosby's, as much as people rip on him for being a baby or whatever, that's total garbage. He's one of the more grinding players in the league, and his teammates will attest to that. But it's, one's a little bit more defensive, grinding, still gets the assists and the goals, and then the other guy is pure goal scorer, and it's hard to choose between the two when it comes to overall. But Crosby and Ovechkin, and especially Stamkos in there too. And don't want to forget Corey Perry. We'll talk about him later. But they're all up there in a different class of player. Same with Tavares.
Did Ovechkin and Crosby come in at the same time?
Pretty much. No, they weren't, because there was the lockout year was right after. So
yes.
It was a bit odd in the way they came in, but basically they started at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. But they were born in different years.
I would love to see Ovechkin get. I don't know how deep they've actually gotten the Capitals.
I don't think they've
gotten to the conference finals.
I don't think they've ever been to the concert with Ovechkin. I can't even remember. See, this is nice. We were gonna have Trevor Mon on the podcast, and he's a huge Washington Capitals fan. He would have been able to give us a little bit more insight into the Caps.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it, but I was actually really looking forward to talking Caps with him, because we don't get a lot of other team stuff going normally.
Besides the goddamn
Other
Leafs.
than the Leafs, you can't get away from those guys. Jeez. No Travis here today, so that's going to be the only time we say that dirty word.
Yes. I can hold you to that for sure. I just think Ovechkin would be so much fun to watch deep in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's he's just a polarizing athlete.
Absolutely.
To a lot of people.
Well, anytime
even outside of the NHL.
Yeah, anytime you have anybody who is really good at one aspect of a sport, there's going to be polarizing, right? Because
of course.
Yeah, he's good at this, but what about this, and this, right? So he's good at offense, but what about defense, right? And there's always those people saying, well, what about his plus minus? When realistically, I think he's finished in any of his NHL seasons, he's had 2 or 3 that were finished in a minus.
Yeah.
So the rest, it's this garbage argument. But it's anytime you have a guy who's really good at one thing, obviously there's going to be people who say, yeah, but it doesn't make up for the fact that he's bad at this.
For sure.
I think it does in Ovechkin's case.
Yeah, no doubt. The only Jets game I've ever been to, 2013, if I'm not mistaken. 13? Yeah. Washington Capitals game. Right against the glass. Nice. I got super, super lucky, super fortunate. Shout out to Kevin if you're out there watching. But the Crosby's better chance.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm assuming it's vice versa as well when Crosby's there. They get the Ovi. Does that ever happen?
I don't think that's ever... I think they just kind of boo him.
Just real simple.
Just kind of real simple hate. No, I think that they don't do. I don't think I've ever heard an Ovechkin's better chant.
I guess because it's a because name to chant. Ovechkin's. It's not the right syllables.
It's not. There's too many syllables.
The cadence is tough.
It is.
I couldn't. First, being in that arena is incredible.
That was the only. Actually, it's funny. The only Jets game I've ever been to was a Washington.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this before. Yeah. I think it was different games, but Ovechkin. I think he had 3 points the time I saw him, 2 goals and assists, and it just amazed me the way he moved.
Yeah.
It's really apparent. Like, I don't watch a lot of NHL games on the TV unless it's playoffs. I see a couple of them. But watching Ovechkin move, and especially because, like, he's smaller than a lot of big guys. We had, what was that big defenseman we had? Antropov?
He was a forward.
Whatever. Yeah,
he's big. Yeah.
When I saw him on skates, I'm like,
he's monster.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
like you should be in the paint doing layups.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
in the wrong league, man.
Yeah.
But then you see Ovechkin, this tiny guy just moving through people, and the way he scores is.
And you know what? He's shorter than the big guys, but that guy, he is a tank. Like, he's built like a friggin' tank.
Yeah.
I don't want to get this wrong because every time I see it, it amazes me. So let me just look up his height and weight because it's something stupid like that you would never expect. Because I think he's 6 foot. I think he's like my height, maybe an inch taller. But he weighs like 240 pounds or something ridiculous.
My goodness, man.
I want to look it up so that I don't get it wrong because, like I say, every time I see his height and weight, I'm just like, that's not realistic.
Right.
Like, a human can't be that size and have that much muscle.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm just going to grab it.
Does the NHL or NHL players or teams in general, do they embellish height like they do in the NBA?
Do they do that? Is it professional?
Oh, it's awful.
Okay, so I didn't know.
Everyone gets an extra 3 inch, especially the small guys.
Okay, so they do. Okay, no, I remember very vividly in high school basketball, everybody, you couldn't, even if you had a team of everyone under 6 feet, everybody was at least 6 feet.
Yes,
so like if your whole team was like 5'3", everybody was 6 feet on the scorecard or on like the pamphlet that you got. Like, I remember that very clearly, but I didn't know it extended to professional.
Oh my goodness, yeah, for sure. Like Chris Paul is a great example. I think he's listed as 6'3" or something. Okay. And that dude, like, if you hear any analyst or reporter, anybody that's beside him, they're like, no way, that guy's under or over 6 feet tall.
Oh, really?
But it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, if you're a good player, you're a good player.
Right.
But I remember, so is Steve Nash, is he 6'3"? Because I remember that was that's
definitely his like listed.
Yeah,
height.
he was. I've always remembered seeing him as 6'3".
Yeah, for
so
sure.
Is that just like the minimum almost? Like, if you're a short guy, you get to be called 6'3"?
My sister got to meet him once. He was here for a Basketball Manitoba dinner. Okay. So lucky sister. But she got to meet him, and she was surprised of how tall he actually was.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously in comparison to the huge guys on the floor.
And my sister's maybe like 5'9" or something, 5'8", and she. Because I'm sure we've had that discussion as a family as well. We're a big basketball family. Like, is he really that tall, kind of thing? And my sister came back saying, like, he tall. Like 6'3" makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
that's like seeing, like, when you say Antropov on skates, it's like seeing Travis on skates. Like, the guy's huge.
That's true. Hey?
Guy's 6'4", you add skates on, you're looking at, like, 6'7", 6'8".
Exactly. That's like 2 inches at least.
2-3 inches depending on, So here, this is your Ovechkin stat line. So he's listed as 6'3", but he knows maybe those heights get embellished. I don't know. Guess the weight, like 6'3", so he's maybe a little bit. Let's just give him Travis's height, and then a muscular version. So how Travis weighs like 200 and between 200 and 210.
Sure.
So Ovechkin,
a soft 210.
Yeah, a very soft 210. As we're just ripping on Travis because he's not here.
Shout out to Travis.
Ovechkin is 6'3", 230 pounds.
Wow.
That's just pure muscle. The guy is an animal.
No homo, but I'd like to see a picture with his shirt.
Yeah, for sure. No, he's a tank.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this infographic I saw the other day because it just amazed me of just the accolades that guy's putting up. I didn't expect to talk this much about Ovechkin, but here we are. I don't want to look at this. Whatever. It's gone. I hope they win this series on Monday. I don't know anyone on the Rangers besides my fantasy goalie, Lundqvist.
The Rangers. Yeah, okay, yeah. The Rangers are already
they're
through.
playing the Islanders.
The Rangers are already through. This isn't.
I don't know anyone on the Islanders. No, what's that?
John Tavares,
John
man.
Tavares, that's the guy, yes.
That's the only reason I want the Islanders to win. Well, and they have Ryan Strome, too, who I really like. I like Strome.
See, right past me.
Ryan Strome, Kyle Okposo as well. I had a lot of Islanders on my fantasy team, my work fantasy team this year.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of fell in love with them a little bit because they got lots of points. But, yeah, no, like I said, that one's got me torn because Backstrom, Ovechkin, I just like, I love that. And then there's Tavares and Okposo, and I don't know.
That's a great name too.
Okposo?
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Coming onto this episode, we were trying to figure out like what we're going to talk about because Travis selfishly wants to keep. I mean, it's probably the best for the viewers,
absolutely.
But he wants to keep the review to when he's back. So next week, probably next Sunday, we'll do the whole Jets in-season review when I'm on the other side of the camera.
Yep.
I'm going to try and do the big guy justice today.
Do a full reflection of the season.
Yeah. But what I do know best. Maybe not the Jets and hockey in general, but I do know Reddit, and I've mentioned it probably 5 times already this episode. Yep. And some favorite things I saw. I wanted to bring this up right away, but a conversation that happened between some NHL Twitter accounts on the weekend.
Some of these are gold.
They're so good.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of the viewers, listeners have seen this one, but this is like over the top for me. So we have to go all the way back to 2013 when the Kings and the Penguins were both in the conference finals, if I'm not mistaken. So 2 years ago. And the LA Kings tweeted to the Penguins, hey, you guys want to grab a drink later? You know, just kind of not celebrate, but kind of drink their woes away.
Yeah.
And the Penguins obviously did not respond. And then here we are 2 years later.
Both of them knocked out of the playoffs.
Kings didn't even make it.
Kings didn't even make the playoffs.
Penguins got knocked out. I'm not sure if it was yesterday or Friday, but the Penguins, they tweeted them back again 2 years later. Say, offer still stands. First one's on us.
Nice.
The Blue Jackets jump in. Again, social media, Twitter, like all these professional sports teams, NHL has been amazing this season.
Yeah. They've really stepped their game up. And in large part, thanks to the LA Kings, I think they were the first NHL team to really
That's why I was so impressed that they made this tweet 2 years ago, right? Because I feel like at the beginning of social media, I mean, 2013 was kind of advanced, but regardless, they like social media accounts for professional teams weren't being funny. You know, they were just tweeting out stats, scores, whatever.
Check out this fan event. Or
exactly,
whatever.
Right? Just the things that people needed to know.
Yeah.
And now you can tell that there's probably just these 25-year-old social media interns that are just given the reins on these things. Exactly. And they're having a ball. So, again, on the weekend, they reach out to the Penguins. The offer still stands. The Blue Jackets jump in. They're like, you can buy us one too. Thanks. Because they got out as well.
Yeah.
Then they mentioned the Dallas Stars. Hey, are you guys in as well? Dallas Stars, yes. We'll get the NHL Jets to fly us up there.
Nice.
Clever. Yep. Clever. We're out too. We have the Jets. Blue Jackets respond, smart. They have jets to do those type of things.
Good, very good.
Stars come back, no response. I don't want to miss last call. Can you please help us, NHL Flyers? Again, they're looking a way to get together just to have a drink in this weird fantasy social media world. Flyers jump in. Yeah, sure. If the LA Kings are picking up the tab, why not?
This last one's my favorite.
The last one, just so clutch. Just to be clear, we'll pick you guys up, but the Penguins are going to have to find their own way
Classic
there.
rivalry, the Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Rivalry, too, and the other way that I read this is that the Penguins can't fly.
Yeah, also that. Actually, good. Yeah, very good.
Just amazing that this stuff is happening in 2015 to a bunch of teams that are just out of the playoffs now.
That's funny.
Like just fictionally planning to go have team drinks together is amazing.
Different sides of the country.
Yeah. Awesome. And then some other Jet stuff that was great. This was after our 5-2 loss. The fans, those who are listening right now.
Yeah.
We got the 3rd star on our last game.
Yeah, Ryan Kessler, 5-2. First star, obviously, because stupid Ryan Kessler being
he
good.
Killed us.
Oh, he did, absolutely.
My goodness.
Wind out of the sails. He was the villain for sure. And then Brian Little got 2nd star, and then 3rd star, Winnipeg fans, 15,016 in attendance.
And look at the picture they put there.
Yeah.
Hey?
Guys with the ice hats.
The fans truly were amazing, though.
Yeah. They got, and you know what? They got plenty. Winnipeg Jets fans got the recognition for the effort that they put in, because everybody was talking about it.
Yeah,
all over the country and in the States too.
We're very lucky, and we got swept.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I watched the end of the game, like most of you guys, our last game, and the chant that they had going for probably the last at least minute of regulation, and then through the handshakes, through all the way to the sticks in the air at center ice. Like, I don't know who didn't get shivers or the goosebumps watching that, but
exactly.
That's special. I can't imagine what it'd be like to actually be in that arena at that time.
Yeah, no, that would be nuts. That would be a crazy environment, because, I mean, like you said, you just got swept. Like, that sucks.
Exactly.
But I think it shows that everybody has an appreciation of the fact that, we're here.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what everyone was just excited about, right? We talked about it at nauseum for the past week or two.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite pictures I saw.
This is a good one,
It's just a dead-on picture of Pavlik in goal. I'm not sure if this was game 1 or 2, 3 or 4. And you could just see the whiteout, the fans in the back. It almost looks like it's a painted picture.
Yeah, it looks really cool, actually.
But just a wicked picture. And there was another picture of the comparison of 1996 back in the old Winnipeg Arena and now in the MTS Center.
Wow.
Biggest thing I noticed from these comparisons, the MTS Center, look how stacked high it is. Oh, hi, Zoe.
Zoe just freaked me out there. I wasn't paying attention.
A dog came and said hello. Usually the door is closed, but oh well.
Hi. Anyways, sorry.
But yeah, look how high the MTS Center is. Like the nosebleeds, like the 300 level is like right on top of the...
I know, it's crazy.
The 100 and 200 levels. And then back in the old Winnipeg Arena, it looks so much more sprawled. But just amazing that we are able to get that whiteout again.
It's crazy because, like, I went to the Winnipeg Arena before. Like, it wasn't quite shut down before. I remember I went to Monster Jam there a couple times and everything like that. But
I think I did the same.
I honestly, just looking at that picture of it, I just don't have any memories that, like, even though I was there, I just don't remember it. And then I see the MTS Center and I've got tons of memories there. So, and you know what? There's probably a ton of people who are thinking the exact opposite, older generations, thinking all the memories they had in that old building, and then this new one, just like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good way. I never thought of it like that, but that's definitely true, because I've been in the MTS Center 10 times more than I've been in the arena.
I went to the Winnipeg Arena maybe like 4 times in
exactly.
my life.
Me too, or even less. Monster Jam was definitely one of them. I definitely didn't see a Jets game.
No, I never saw a Jets game. I mean, I was 3 years old, so.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to this Jets fan. Amazing t-shirt.
Yeah, getting blackout in a whiteout. I wonder if he custom made that. That's pretty sweet.
He must have. Yeah. There's no way someone is going to go make that, or so like some company, or if they did, shout out to them.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's an awesome t-shirt, especially of where he's sitting in the stands. Like, he's it looks like he's right by the
rail.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome t-shirt.
That's terrifying. That guy in the white mask.
Yeah.
That's actually really scary. I would not want to sit beside that guy or be like close to him.
And then we got a shout out from the Calgary Flames.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of you guys saw that. It was retweeted a bunch of times, but apparently the Calgary Flames, they started the whole sea of red thing, or the one uniform color within the stands, and they did it again amazingly this year.
It looked really good.
Some awesome pictures. Red looks really cool.
It's neat to
sprawled
see.
in an arena like that. But yeah, they just kind of gave us a shout out on Twitter. The Winnipeg whiteout and the sea of red. I'm rooting for the Calgary Flames now.
Just because of that?
Not because of that, no. But just because we were talking about it a little bit off air, how they were hot coming into the playoffs kind of thing, and
they're probably one of the hottest teams other than the Senators coming into the playoffs.
No doubt. Yeah. It's cool having Canadian teams.
It is.
Like, worthy of talking about in the NHL playoffs.
Yeah. Toronto is pretty much... Toronto and Edmonton were the only ones to miss.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
It's kind of neat.
And then a tweet from Blake Wheeler. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw this as well. But woke up this morning so proud to be a Winnipeg Jet. Our group is truly special, and our best years are ahead of us.
Nice. You probably gotten some mad love for that one.
Oh, of course he did. Look at that, like 1,500 retweets, like 3,500 favorites. we'll talk about this, I'm sure, a lot on the review or whatever, the preview of next season. But how many do you think of like that core will be back?
Well, here I know some of them are coming up as UFAs or RFAs, but I mean, everybody seems to be bought into this.
That's what's exciting, because that's how I felt too. I mean, this isn't the only thing.
Yeah,
but
I know Ladd and Byfuglien have to have their contract situations figured out.
Right.
I'd like to see both of them come back, but I mean, if that's realistic money-wise, we don't know what they're going to be looking for, or if Chevy's going to be wanting to keep some of the guys that he got on the trade deadline. So, you got to take Stafford into consideration. You got to
because he's up for
a leak as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's tough. It's tough to say, but a very classic Winnipeg Jets move would to be keep the guys that you have.
Yeah,
that's the way they've gone in the past. So I would like to think that all those guys are going to be coming back, the core guys for like the Blake Wheeler, the Andrew Ladd, the Dustin Byfuglien, all those guys. But I mean, who knows if they want to go in a bit of a different direction? I could easily see there's been lots of controversy about Byfuglien. So even though it's quieted down a little bit as of late, there were some people talking about him in the playoffs, but it's 4 games, right? So even if he had a bad stretch of 4 games, it's not really something to condemn your
people were calling for Ladd's head too.
Oh, I know. People were calling for him to be healthy scratch. The guy who has like the most playoff experience on the team. Anyways, if anything happens, it's gonna be Byfuglien. I think a change in that respect.
Really, yeah. I fell in love with Byfuglien this season.
I love Byfuglien too. I'm not saying I want to see him go, but it's just that seems like the most likely to me.
Yeah, I have a good friend that consistently, I mean, he doesn't even watch the Jets, but he's got that famous like, oh, I don't like the core, they're never gonna win with this core
really?
kind of thing. And I mean, I guess it's a valid question. Like, can this core really bring home a cup? Like these core guys. And Pavlik is included in that.
And Pavlik,
right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you got to count him as part of that core. I think that Blake Wheeler had an amazing season. He's a guy that I want to see be a Jet. Like, I love Blake Wheeler.
For sure.
I want him
He's
to be
awesome.
a Jet always, forever, and as long as he can.
I'd agree with you.
Keep being Blake Wheeler. So I love that. I mean, he's definitely not a part of the problem. Andre Pavlik, I mean. Like what are we gonna say, right? Like we've ragged on him, ragged on him a ton. We've praised him some. Still not convinced, obviously, at this point in his career that he's not past his ceiling. But apparently, Chevy came out and said,
"Yeah, I saw that quote."
Yeah, Chevy said that he thinks that Pavlik hasn't reached his ceiling. We'll see, I guess.
How old is
only
he?
Time
Like
will tell. It's 27, I think, 26, 27. Time will tell. Because it doesn't look like he's gonna be going anywhere. So we'll have plenty of time to find out.
Yeah.
But I mean, and St. Louis is learning the hard way too that you can't really make a deep playoff run without good goaltending, whether it be lucky goaltending or legit good goaltending. I mean,
right.
I'll take luck. That's fine with me. That's all you need.
Works.
That's all you need in the playoffs.
16 games.
Yeah, all you need in the playoffs is a bit of luck, and so I mean, I'll take that. But I mean, that's not something you want to bet on, right? So I'm not super convinced of, especially Pavlik and net for that core. But I mean, hey, a few bounces can change a lot. Just look at that Anaheim series; could have gone either way.
For sure, and I'm sure again we'll talk about this next week. But we have a bunch of good prospects.
Oh yeah, big
too,
time.
Right?
There's a lot of guys who are going to be challenging. I mean, there's going to be spots available on this team for the kids to fight for because there's guys coming up. There's going to be Patan possibly. Ehlers is eligible. Morrissey, like there's slots that can be filled, and so who's going to fall by the wayside is the question.
That's exciting.
Yep.
That's awesome. And was it the Hockey News magazine?
Yeah, 2019.
2019, that's the year.
That is a hot take for sure.
That's the year. Something we talked about, Kara on Arctic Ice wrote a great post on this, and it's something that I never really thought of until I read her post, and I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat, but you mentioned it actually before, but Corey Perry, when the Winnipeg Jets, the entire MTS Center had the Katy Perry chant going on,
taunting
right?
him, yeah.
And I definitely heard that live.
Oh yeah, you could tell.
And it never like occurred to me, and I'm just trying to be honest. maybe it is a dick thing to say, but like it never occurred to me that would really bother women.
Yeah, no, and when it was happening, I didn't think anything of it either.
And I feel like if I was there, I would be chanting just with everyone, like the mob mentality, right?
Right,
it's
of course.
A few beers down, it's a Winnipeg Jets playoff
Everybody's
game.
yelling, yeah, okay, I'll yell. Yeah,
I'm gonna yell the same thing, right? And maybe if it was like, if they were chanting like, you're a girl, maybe that would like kind of clue into me and be like, oh, this isn't right.
Yeah.
You know, but when I heard it, I was like, okay, Katy Perry, she kisses girls and she likes it kind of thing.
Yeah.
She's a California girl, all this stuff. Like, I didn't think of it as a girl. Mm-hmm. I thought of the Katy Perry chant as like performer kind of...
Not a professional athlete.
Yeah, you know, like Katy Perry can't skate not because she's a girl, but
because she's Katy Perry,
right? Yeah. Exactly. But then reading Kara's post really kind of opened my eyes and like made me take a step back of just how like putting it in the filter or seeing it through the lens of a girl and a woman, right? Because this is probably not the only time. She gave good examples of what was the Crosby chant? There's a girl Crosby chant. I forget what it is.
Oh, I can't remember. I don't know.
And then the Sedin sisters as well.
Yeah, of course. Sedin sisters is
right?
a classic one, yeah. That one's been around for a while.
Or Cindy Crosby, maybe it was.
Oh, I've never heard that, but okay.
Regardless. And I'm sure there's some other examples too. Just basically belittling or trying to belittle these male professional athletes by calling them girls.
Yeah, exactly. Which is ridiculous.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
And I think most sane people with their head on straight would agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, honestly, like, these chants aren't born out of something malicious.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It just... When you have to stop and think about it, you realize, okay, this is maybe not a right thing to say or do. Right. Because, I mean, I guarantee you, whoever it was that started that chant, because it has to start somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to be one or two guys.
Whoever it was that started this chant wasn't thinking along these big social...
Not at all.
You know, these big social issues. They were just thinking, how's some way that I can, I'll compare him to this. Because, same last name, she's a girl.
Yeah.
Well, let's just do that. And, okay, we got it going. And I think that even maybe those people who came up with it would, if they were to take a second and step back from it, remove themselves from the situation, would say, okay, maybe was not appropriate. Because it's not. It's just not. Yeah. And so I understand how it can be, in that environment, it can be born out of something that's not necessarily mean or malicious, like I said. But once you stop and think about it, you have to just say, yeah, that's not cool. Like, you can't.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I went through all 173 comments on that.
Yeah, a lot of comments. Just to give you an idea of how controversial that topic is.
Just stories after stories, just paragraphs. Like, people are writing thousands of words in this comment section. Yeah. And it's just so polarizing, this issue, right? Yeah. Like, some people... Hi, Zoe, you're back.
She wants to hang out. Maybe it's Travis is the problem. She doesn't ever want to come and say hi.
That's true. It's got to be Travis.
Travis is scaring her away.
No kidding.
It's the first time Neil's dog has ever even come up to us and done anything while we were recording. Now she's just come up and said hi to me 2 times.
But yeah, I went through all of these comments. Like, I just got super interested in just reading people's responses and responses to responses. And there were just some people that are just so stuck in their ways that's like giving just really silly examples. Like, would people be making a big deal if they were chanting a guy's name or something like that, or whatever it may be? And I think people lost the point. I think Kara, I could be wrong, but she was really kind of trying to make the point of, yes, it's wrong, yes, it's sexist, but the biggest thing is that Bettman didn't acknowledge that. And Bettman had I think I have the quote right here, actually. He was asked about it it was a press conference, I believe, and there was a guy on Sportsnet and then another girl from Sports Illustrated that was talking about it. And he was kind of just going around the entire issue, and he was saying, yeah, like, I can't control the fans. Like, what am I going to do about it? Like, it's, I think he kind of mentioned the, not mob mentality word for word, but that idea of that, like, people just kind of jump onto it and get into it all together as a team. And same thing. He says, we've had instances where national anthems have been booed, and we've taken video steps to address it, which I'm curious what that is.
What does that even mean?
And we've also heard complaints about homophobic chants in certain places, and we've dealt with that. But this is the last thing that I think a lot of people are getting upset with. This is a quote from Bettman. I take this no less seriously, but I think there's always a line between what is a parody intended in good fun and what's intended to belittle certain segments in society. We obviously don't encourage that.
Okay.
Which is fine. Like, that's right. Like, I guess it's like the right thing to say.
It is, yeah.
But in this entire thing, like this, there's a good amount of dialogue. He never said that the chant was wrong, right? And I think that's what Kara was kind of pretty upset with. And when I think there's some quote, but when you don't acknowledge it, you're condoning it, right? Or if you're just saying if you don't say it's wrong, then you're condoning it.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's kind of like bullying in that way, right? Where you say, if you just stand by and do nothing, then you're just part of the problem.
Yes.
And so yeah, I mean, and I was amazed at first that it became such a controversial thing. I was like, wow, what's the big deal? And then I thought about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? You're right. This is a big deal.
But you made a good point that I don't think, like, what do we have? 15,000 people in the MTS Center. I think there's almost all of them that didn't mean it maliciously.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you went to each one of them and said, like, when you were chanting that, did you mean to belittle women?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I'm sure almost all of them didn't even think about it. I could be wrong for the women. Again, it's hard as a guy to kind of step back and see it through the girl's lens, right? So that's why it's cool hearing Kara's perspective. But the biggest question is, I don't even know what Bettman would do about it.
What is there to do?
Right? Like, what if he did say it was wrong? What if he's like, yep, we do not condone this at all in the NHL.
This is what we're going to do. And what is it? I don't know.
Exactly, right?
What can you do to stop that from, like the only times I've ever seen any sort of action taken against or discipline given to fans or for fans is like the league finding a team for what their fans do. But
right.
I can't imagine that would happen for a chant. I don't know. And if people would even care about it, right? Like, oh, the Jets got fined $50,000 from the league because the fans had a sexist chant. Would that stop them from doing it again?
And then who? So the organization True North, they pay for that.
Yeah.
And then what do? They up ticket prices to pay us back, or to get us to pay back.
That's what I mean. Like, right? The fans don't ever feel it.
Exactly.
So it's tough to do like a disciplinary thing in that situation.
Yeah.
That's why I'm curious what he said. Like, we've had complaints about homophobic chants in certain places, and we dealt with that. Like, yeah, okay, you probably said we don't want you to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But like, is that really dealing with it? I mean, obviously nobody wants to have homophobic chants going on no matter what. So just telling them not to do it doesn't seem like dealing with it.
No, absolutely. I think it's worth talking about for sure. I mean, that's why I wanted to bring it up today, and that's why I was so curious about reading every single one of those comments.
Well, I mean, it blows up into a whole different, like, what we are as a society kind of thing, right?
Exactly. And I'm just surprised of how many people are just so set in their ways kind of thing, and it's the whole kind of anonymity or whatever that word is.
Anonymity?
Yes, thank you. Being anonymous on the internet is what I'm trying to say, and just kind of...
Oh, you can do whatever, letting
it loose.
Exactly, so and people feel, put your name as Mr. X and say whatever you want.
Because some guy, he was trying to play devil's advocate, and it's such a stupid point, but he's just like... So, why isn't anybody getting mad at 15,000 people bullying Corey Perry? He's like, shouldn't we just be mad at them getting bullied or him getting bullied?
The fact that we're ganging up on
okay. Exactly. And right, I mean, you could take that in a whole different way. But I don't know. I just don't know what Bettman would do about it. I don't think it's right. I don't think a lot of people think it was right. I just, like you said, I don't think it was malicious in any way.
I mean, in that situation, before you start a chant, you're not thinking, what is the social impact of this chant that I'm about to start?
Exactly.
So I can understand where it comes from, but at the same time, it's obviously sexist, and when you take a look at it afterwards, you say, wow, that's definitely trying to do the wrong thing, and it's not good.
Yeah, no. Jeez. But yeah, everybody go check that out on Arctic Ice Hockey. Kara did really do a great job, and you really do not need to read all the comments like I did. I promise you're not going to learn that much more. But I think the Arctic Ice staff did a great job in that section, kind of standing up for her, and just the general, like, that's the right idea to think, is that it is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? But whatever. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. You got a spelling bee.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
I'm all by myself, and this is going to be the first time I'm going to get it right, I guarantee it.
I'm giving you, this is a chance to make up some ground on Travis. I don't keep official stats on the spelling bee, but I know that he's got a lot more than you do.
I just know I got 0. I got a few close calls.
Yeah, you got a couple close ones. before I give you the name here, I just got an update from Travis. I asked him what jersey he got. Curtis Lazar.
I don't know who that
Curtis
is.
Lazar. He played for Team Canada World Juniors this year.
Okay.
He was their captain, and Ottawa Senators draft pick. He just started playing with them this year.
Nice. Shout out to Lazar.
Yep, Travis got his jersey, and it looks like the Canadians have officially advanced to the Eastern Conference second round.
Bad luck, Travis.
4-2 win over the Senators, so that's too bad.
Wah, wah.
Anyways, spelling bee for this week. I thought I'd give you a little bit more of a better shot since it's just you. I'm not going to go...
Oh, I appreciate it, Joe. Thank you.
I thought I would make it something more related to what you know. So this is a basketball one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no! My thing just died. It's okay. I can save it. That was terrible timing.
Oh, and the fuck yeah, but didn't work again.
Fuck yeah, bud.
I don't get it, man.
Anyways, the music's about to end. We haven't even started. We were talking beforehand about before we were recording, Neil and I were talking about the Toronto Raptors and how they were...
oh no! Is it Jonas Valanciunas?
It's not Jonas Valanciunas. About how they were not doing so good, and talking about how Paul Pierce was just following them around everywhere he goes and knocking them out of the playoffs, and how funny it was. Although I would like to see the Toronto Raptors do good.
Everyone would,
But
yeah.
they're just not. So they're actually in the middle of getting eliminated right now as well. So we'll let them finish that. And then for the time being, you're going to try and learn how to spell Tyler Hansborough's name.
Oh, that's like an easy, tough one.
It's an easy, tough
right?
one. I misspelled it when I was writing it down. I was so confident. I was like, oh, I'm just going to write this down.
Oh my god. And I mean, this has already happened for everybody listening, but Toronto Raptors, 5 minutes to go in the fourth, the end of their season.
It's over.
117 to 82. They're losing.
That's not a good way to go out. That's unfortunate.
Oh my goodness, just getting their ass kicked.
That was a sweep.
Masai
That's a
Ujiri,
sweep.
yeah, you clean that or what I'm trying to say? Clean that slate. It's all
Clean the
yours.
slate, yeah.
Get everybody.
And clean his
get
mouth too. Apparently, that guy gets fined for.
Yeah.
That guy gets fined for swearing more than any executive I've ever seen in my life.
No kidding. And it didn't work this year. It didn't
Yeah.
get anyone pumped up. It didn't work last year, I guess. Tyler Hansbrough. Okay, let's go. Tyler.
Oh yeah.
Hans. This is where it gets really fun. BR. Now it gets really fun. I feel like it's a GH, but maybe it's a Nat.
See, this is why this is an easy, tough one.
Hansbrough. That seems... maybe there's no U. Okay. BROUGH?
Oh.
Did I get it right?
Can you respell that for me? How you had it?
TYLER.
Okay, that's right.
HANSBROUGH.
Nailed it.
Yeah!
Nice.
It's about damn time.
That's the
Oh
first
my
one for
God.
Neil. All right, right on.
And now, since Travis isn't here, I thought this would be a good time to do this. I was thinking about this for a long time. But I'm going to put Joe on the spot here. He's
Okay.
going to have his own little spelling bee.
Oh man.
And we're going to go really quickly. This is going to be a rapid fire here.
This is deadly.
Rapid fire spelling
Oh, I'm
bee
so
through the
nervous right
entire Jets roster.
Oh, what? Okay.
We got 33 guys here, and most
You
of
have
them
to
are
do all
pretty
of
easy.
them?
Most of them are tough, or most of them aren't tough.
Okay.
We'll go right from the just last names.
Oh, okay.
Just last names. Andrew Kopp.
COPP.
Nice. And I got fun little nice. Or what's the other one? Nice. Frolik.
FROLIK.
Gagliardi.
GALIARDI.
Halischuk.
HALISCHUK.
Ooh, lad.
LADD.
Little
LITTLE.
Lowry.
LOWRY.
Odell.
O apostrophe
Nice.
D, capital DELL.
Nice. Peluso.
PELUSO.
Nice. Tough one. Perot.
PERRAULT.
Oh, you mixed up the E and the A.
It's so hard with all these letters going through my head.
Another one. Shifley.
SCHEIFELE.
Nice. Slater.
SLATER.
Stafford.
STAFFORD.
Stepniak.
STEMPNIAK.
Nice. Thorburn.
THORBURN.
Toluzzi.
TLUSTY.
Nice. Wheeler.
WHEELER.
Nice. Bufflin.
BY.
Oh, it's tough in your head, hey? You're doing great. You only got one wrong now.
Fuglin.
Nice! Sherrod.
Chiarot.
The I is sneaky there. Clitsum.
Clitsome.
Ellerby.
Ellerby.
Enstrom.
Enstrom.
Harrison.
Harrison.
Myers.
Myers.
Party.
Pardy.
Postma.
Postma.
Stewart.
Stuart. Stuart.
Nice. Truba.
Trouba.
Nice. Oh, what am I doing?
What the heck just happened?
And now the goalies. Hutchinson.
Hutchinson.
Nice. Pavlik.
Pavel. I was about to say LOL. Paveloelic. Now I screwed myself up.
And now the one goalie I didn't know we had. Or wait, you got Pavlik basically.
Hellebuyck?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Hellebuyck.
That's a tough one. Hellebuyck?
No, no Y.
Buck.
There's no Y.
Just Buck. Damn it.
No, you got the Y right. There's no Y after the E, so it's Helleb.
Oh, and then there's the U, the Y later. I knew there's a Y in there
You
somewhere.
did pretty damn well though. You got what? It was just
Perot screwed me up, and I know how to
Yeah.
spell it. It was just so many letters in my
it's
head.
tough in your
Those are
head
tough.
though. That's impressive, man.
Those are hard, man. For rapid fire like that, if I had a piece of paper, I feel like I would have gotten them all.
Well, that's why I was so impressed. No, you did an awesome job.
Some of them just roll off the tongue, like saying some letters after other letters just roll off the tongue, like Postma, Postma. It's just like
that's true.
and then other
Prolique,
other times it just doesn't work. Like Party, Pardy. It's so easy to say.
No doubt.
But some are just so tough.
No doubt.
Wheeler, like those letters just don't work together.
Yeah, you know what? If he means anything, I bet you would have done better than Travis. Actually, Travis writes them all down all the fucking time.
Yeah, what a jerk. He had, you know what? Nobody did rapid fire, so no matter what, I feel pretty good about that.
Something I wish we did this episode is I was at the alumni tournament. I saw Travis's mom there, Tammy.
Yeah.
Shout out for the Christmas baking.
Yeah,
But imagine having her on just like for a video call.
Oh, she wants to be on.
Yes, I know.
I know she wants. We should have done it this time since Travis isn't
I
here.
thought so too.
Damn it.
I thought about it a little too late, like today, but
that's genius because I've talked to her a few times and she said she wanted to come on, but you know, obviously Travis isn't having none of that.
Of course.
Now that he's not here, we missed an opportunity.
Jets fans out there, please tweet at Travis or even at our JetStream Twitter account and let him know that like we gotta let Tammy loose.
Yeah, we gotta let his mom be on the podcast. She has a lot of opinions. I've never watched a hockey game with a person who had so many more opinions on what was going on than Travis's mom.
Oh, that how amazing would a segment be with just a call in from Tammy?
It would be fantastic.
The host's mom.
It needs to happen.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to cover today at all?
I think we hit it all. I mean, we can't do too much more until Travis gets back because he wants
true.
to do the.
Don't talk about this. Don't talk about
playoffs.
that.
Don't talk about what's going on next season. Blah blah blah.
And shout out to all the guys that I tweeted out on the JetStream account this morning that reached out for all the questions you guys gave me. Because I wanted some questions to talk about today on the episode, but then a lot of them was Travis like, nah, like just save them for the review show. So.
What a guy! You just throwing us under the bus.
Exactly.
Eh?
Like,
No,
he was
you
just
talk about whatever you want, but not this.
One thing he did want us to talk about was if you had an hour and you had unlimited pizza in front of you, every single piece you ate was $100,000 in your pocket. How many pieces of pizza could you eat?
In an hour?
I would
The most I've ever eaten in one sitting is like an entire large pizza.
Wait, which is like what, 8?
I think that's 8 or 9 pieces.
Yeah.
So I feel like if there was that much money on the line, I would just go until I threw up.
Yeah, I would do the same thing.
So I don't know. I could probably do like 2 larges, 3 larges.
So one pizza is about
like
$800,000. Yeah, that's amazing.
So I would probably rock up to like, I don't know, 17, 18 pieces. I feel like I would throw up at that point.
Yeah, I think my goal would be 2, and I'd be happy with 2. Like
2 full pizzas?
That's $1.5 million.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
1.6, whatever. That would be a great goal.
Yeah. I'd say so. We gotta give a shout out, to one of our listeners.
Scotland.
Yeah, in Scotland.
Yes.
Do you have his info here? Hold on, I got it right here. Scotland listener at Fraser Hood, Ducks fan. He gave us a shout out saying that he listened and he was liking our post-game playoff stuff. So
yeah,
thanks for getting in touch. It's always fun to hear from people, especially overseas. That's That's always nuts. We've had a couple from a guy from Norway or something like that. Yeah, we've had a bunch.
Yeah. It's so nice to hear from fans. Not only if you're across the pond, but just from everybody.
Yeah. In Winnipeg too.
I guess now I have a good time to talk about it since Travis isn't here taking up all the airwaves. But the podcast has grown substantially this season. Before the season started, I think we had less than like 50 subscribers, and we've grown to like over 400 this season.
Nice.
We get about like 300 downloads an episode.
That's awesome.
Tons of followers, tons of emails all the time from Norway, Scotland. We love hearing from you guys. Thank you all for the subscriptions, for the ratings on iTunes, the reviews.
We've got a lot of reviews now, so that's
it helps us out a lot. Anytime you search the Jets or Winnipeg or anything related, we're always one of the top searches that come up on iTunes. We're frequently in the What's Hot category on iTunes, which is also super cool.
Yeah.
So thanks again. It's all because of you guys. I know Travis wanted to start this podcast just to be an alternative kind of source to TSN 1290 and Sportsnet and stuff. So hopefully we've given that to you guys. I mean, it's super fun for us to do, and it's nice we're growing a little community for the JetStream pod, right? So again, thank you everybody, whether you're watching it on YouTube, you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud.
If you're watching on YouTube, this is the first first episode of the year where you get to see my legs.
Oh yes, the shorts are out.
It's shorts time. It's short season. Beautiful weather today in Winnipeg. It was like 21 degrees. So recording in shorts.
Yes. Oh, and it looks really nice for the rest of the week.
So you get used to seeing my hairy legs in the podcast because if you're watching on YouTube, you're gonna be getting a lot of it.
All right, guys. Hopefully I did the podcast justice, and if you guys would rather have me host the hockey podcast over Travis, please let Travis know immediately.
Tell him right now.
We do miss him, and we will be back next week for our Jets season review. So feel free to send us questions, anything you do want to talk about. Everyone that did tweet us today or yesterday, I guess now, we will get to your questions and comments, I promise you. Today just was not the day. Blame it on Travis.
Yeah, it's all Travis's fault.
Yeah, so again, thanks for listening, guys. And wait, I gotta wait for the ending here.
Oh, and if you're in Ottawa, Travis is there.
Yeah.
So
Andrew Campbell met him.
Get in touch. Yeah, Andrew Campbell. Get in touch with him. If you're a fan, he's in the area.
Oh wow, we got past the music this time.
Wow, we were talking about a lot of things.
Okay, whatever. Go Jets, go.